Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, instead of doing a monthly review, I wanted to do a what I wish I knew in my 20s. This February 15th, I turned 30 and I just had so much fun celebrating life and really looking back on the past decade of my life, which is really kind of where you grow your independence. And I just wanted to share some things that I've learned and some things that I wish I knew or could have done better. And hopefully this is helpful to any of you that are in your early 20s, mid 20s, or really any point in your life. So just getting right into it, the very first thing that I wish I knew, especially in your very early 20s, is that there is no need to rush. There is plenty of time to reach your goals. You do not need to be comparing yourself to anybody, whether they're your age or older or younger, really. Your early 20s are so just weird because everybody takes a different path in life. Some people get married and start having children right away. Some people travel the world. Some people literally go to college and graduate as soon as they're 22 and start their career, start making money. And that may be you and it may not be, but either way, that's okay. There's just so many things that you can do in your early 20s. You're really just kind of figuring out where you want to go. And when I look at early 20s-year-old people, I literally just want to tell them that you have your whole life ahead of you. There's literally no rush to do anything. You don't have to be rushing to hit these big milestones because as long as you're doing little things along the way, like you will get there when you need to get there and when you're meant to get there. And that is something that I wish I had known in my early 20s. My second piece of advice is to invest in your financial well-being. Yes, unfortunately, we live in a society that revolves around money, and although it is not the most important thing, investing in while you're young is going to set your future self up for success. Not only financial success, but also security in having a roof over your head, having clean water, having fresh food. Like those are things that are so important to our everyday lives and are a huge component of not only our physical but also our mental health. My third piece of advice is to prioritize your friends and family. So one thing I tend to do a lot is out of sight, out of mind, and I also tend to have a really like one-track mind, meaning when I am working on my goals, big goals, especially like right now I'm a nurse practitioner school, and previously I was doing my nursing school, and before that I was doing my prereqs for nursing school. It just feels like my 20s, all I've done was study to reach my goals, which is great. It's great to have goals and it's good to invest in yourself and put time into yourself. But at the same time, you know, at the end of the day, we only have our close friends and our families and those relationships, and if you want them to be there for you, then you have to be there for them. Again, I know that reaching your goals, there's going to be a little give and take and you are going to be missing out on some things, but I think overall prioritizing the relationships that you value is a key part to having success in your 20s. My next piece of advice is to invest in traveling. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to go to a different country every month or that you have to buy the nicest hotel rooms or the most expensive flights. Genuinely, this could literally mean going to a different state and seeing what the different cultures of that state and the different atmosphere has to offer. There are so many benefits to traveling. You gain social and cultural awareness, you break stereotypes, you grow personally, you have self-discovery, it reduces stress and improves mental health. There's just so many benefits to traveling. And I know that traveling itself is a privilege, and I'm not saying it's easy, which is why I said invest in traveling. You really need to decide whether it's something you want to do, and if you do, then you need to make it happen. My fourth piece of advice is to not burn your bridges. In your 20s, you meet so many people, and again, a lot of times we don't have our careers right off the bat, and so you're really working different jobs and you're meeting new people, and the biggest thing is that you need to make sure that you do not leave bad impressions or that you don't just quit your job and don't show up, because you really never know when somebody you met one place is going to affect a future job or a future opportunity, and by burning bridges, you burn those opportunities for yourself. A recent example I have is just a couple years ago when I had decided I wanted to go back to school, I was applying for a scholarship. It's so funny because the lady that was over the scholarship is somebody that I had known just briefly at my time at a different job, but I remember she had come up to me and she, at the time, so like years ago, had come up to me and had said that because I had worked with her son, and she had told me that he said that I was one of the nurses that was the the most nice to him, and I genuinely don't remember even really doing anything that was nice or anything. Like, I literally just try to treat everybody with respect, and so it was nice. It was a great compliment. I loved that. Anyway, fast forward like 4 years, maybe 5 years later, I applied for this scholarship and she was over it, and it was just so funny because I'm not saying that that is why I got the scholarship, but I definitely think that that helped. I think that had her son been like, oh, that nurse is so rude to me, that I wouldn't have gotten the scholarship, you know? I think that having had that positive interaction with her only helped me in getting that scholarship. So anyway, that's just a random example, but there are so many examples in my life that I've looked back on that I've realized it's really important to form relationships in your career and with people around you that only leave positive impressions of yourself. Okay, so my 5th piece of advice is that when you're setting your goals, to set them focused on how you want to live your life versus checklist goals. And to me, a checklist goal is just something that you're just trying to check off. Getting married, having kids, making $100,000, like things like that are just things that you're just gonna be checking off like next, which in your 20s is really easy to set. Like, those are the type of goals you wanna set. You know, you obviously wanna be successful, you wanna get married, you wanna do the things that society has told you wanna do. But really, what's more beneficial is to set goals based off of how you want to live your life. So for example, instead of saying, oh, I wanna make $100,000, you could say, I want to be financially secure. Or instead of saying, oh, I wanna graduate by the age of 22 or 24, 26, whatever, what you could do is say, I want to be educated. Like, those are goals that you want broadly over your life, and then you set little goals underneath them, you know, like, how am I going to be educated? Well, I want to get this degree, or I want to travel the world, I want to read these types of books, I want to know how to do X, Y, Z, things like that, versus graduate by 22. You know, it just kind of restricts you a little bit, and then if you don't reach them, I think it leads to disappointment. I think it makes you feel behind, really just less motivated in general. But yeah, I think setting your goals about how you want to feel every day is a better way of viewing your life. And the last thing that I wish I knew is to give people grace, and that includes yourself. We are all just doing our best, and there's really no need to be judging other people and how they live their life or how they are doing what they want to do. If you live your life by judging others, you're just going to make yourself bitter, because when you think you're the only one doing things right or the only one that has all the answers and you're not giving people the benefit of the doubt, you're going to isolate yourself. Having the mindset that everybody is capable and willing and wanting to do their best is going to provide you with a positive outlook on life and other people, and it's going to make you happier in general. And I think that that truly leads to a lighter, happier life. Well, that's it for me, you guys. Those are the few things that I wish I knew before I was 30. I hope this was helpful to you, and if you have any advice regardless of your age, please leave it in the comments. Thank you for everything, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.